You're watching DX Recaps, the place where we break down movies fast, clear, and spoiler-packed. Whether you missed it, forgot it, or just want a quick refresh, we've got you covered. Let's get into the story. The movie begins by introducing Pell, the main character. Pell is a shy and quiet 12-year-old boy who has no friends. Most people don't even notice him, which makes him feel small and invisible, like an ant in an anthill. Pell secretly likes one of his classmates, Amanda. Unlike Pell, Amanda is popular and well-liked at school. She has no idea that Pell even exists. Amanda's sister Ida is also in the same class, but she is completely different from Amanda. Amanda is polite and well-behaved, while Ida is outspoken and doesn't care about appearances. One day after school, Pell is eating an apple when he hears noise nearby. Curious, he goes to check and sees two students bullying another boy. Without thinking, Pell throws his apple at the bullies to stop them. Unfortunately, they notice him and start chasing him. After running for a while, Pell manages to escape by hiding behind some bushes. Suddenly, an ant crawls up his leg and bites him. He feels itchy but ignores it. When Pell comes out of hiding, he finds himself standing in front of an old house. Moments later, the same ant bites him again, this time on the neck. Pell suddenly feels dizzy and collapses. Before losing consciousness, he sees someone approaching him, but he can't recognize who it is. A few hours later, Pell wakes up and is shocked to realize it's already night. He rushes home and goes straight to bed without eating. In his dream, he sees thousands of ants crawling all over him. He wakes up frightened, feeling that something bad is about to happen. The next morning, Pell notices chocolate smeared on his lips in the mirror. When he leaves his room, he sees empty wrappers of sweets and snacks everywhere. During breakfast, Pell pours milk, but the carton sticks tightly to his hand. His father has to help pull it off. When Pell tries to drink juice, the glass shatters in his hand. Although his parents are confused, they still send him to school. At school during sports class, Pell accidentally breaks a door and even knocks down his teacher without meaning to. After school, while walking home, Pell meets Wilhelm, the boy he saved earlier from the bullies. Wilhelm thanks him and mentions the rumor about Pell knocking over the teacher. He jokingly asks if Pell has superpowers, but Pell denies it. Suddenly, they notice a strange man staring at them from across the street. Pell feels uneasy and quickly leaves. Later, the same man is shown at home reading a news article about Amanda's father, who is the director of a biomedical company called Exo Farms. The next day, Pell tells Wilhelm about the ant bite and the strange things happening to him. Wilhelm, who loves superheroes, gets excited and takes Pell to his house. Together, they perform experiments and discover that Pell really does have superpowers. They begin designing a superhero costume for Pell. Later, they go to a dark parking lot where crimes often happen. They decide to call Pell Antboy. Wilhelm leaves briefly to get food, leaving Pell alone. Suddenly, Pell hears a woman screaming for help. Her bag has been stolen. Wearing his Antboy costume, Pell chases the robber. The thief laughs and mocks him, thinking he's just a kid playing superhero. Pell gets scared and backs away, until he suddenly climbs up a wall like an ant. Shocked, the robber tries to escape, but Pell easily stops him. When Wilhelm returns, he sees the police arresting the robber. Pell explains everything and shows his wall climbing ability, but he falls while trying again. Back home, Pell wonders why his powers didn't work properly. Wilhelm believes it's because Pell needs energy and suggests eating sweets. Wilhelm upgrades the Antboy costume by adding a candy belt and a smart glove connected to a phone. Over time, Antboy becomes famous for stopping crimes and helping people, while his identity remains secret. Kids and teenagers admire him, and Pell finally feels happy and popular. However, Wilhelm warns him not to become arrogant, and reminds him that a true hero focuses on doing good, not fame. Pell ignores the advice. Meanwhile, Amanda decorates her room with Antboy posters. Loud music suddenly plays from Ida's room, and the sisters argue. As Ida leaves, Amanda sees a man reflected in the mirror behind her. She turns, screams, and the man kidnaps her and flies away. Ida rushes in, but it's too late. The next day at school, Pell feels sad about Amanda's absence. Suddenly, students rush outside and see someone hanging from the school roof. Antboy rushes to save the person hanging from the roof, but when he arrives, he realizes it's only a doll. It turns out that Ida placed the doll there to attract Antboy so she could talk to him in private. When they meet, Ida shows Antboy a video of Amanda trapped inside a glass box and begs him for help. She explains that Amanda was kidnapped by a man known as the Flea. The villain sent the video to their father as a ransom, demanding $20 million and forcing him to resign as the director of Exo Farms, because Pell has strong feelings for Amanda. He agrees to help without hesitation. Antboy takes Ida to Wilhelm's house, which shocks Wilhelm since they promised never to reveal their secret identity. He believes Pell is taking a huge risk. However, Pell convinces him by explaining that Ida doesn't know who Antboy really is and that she can be trusted. The three of them watch the ransom video together. Wilhelm jokingly compares Amanda and Ida's father to Lex Luthor, which angers Ida and leads to an argument. Antboy quickly calms them down and asks Ida what she knows about the kidnapper. Ida believes the villain is someone trying to take control of her father's company. She explains that Exo Farms develops medicine and vaccines for incurable diseases. While Ida is talking, Antboy suddenly senses a strange smell. He realizes it's coming from Amanda's necklace, which Ida brought with her. Discovering that Antboy has an enhanced sense of smell, they decide to use it to locate Amanda. Following the scent, they reach the same abandoned house where Pell was bitten by the ant earlier. Wilhelm reveals that the house once belonged to an old woman named Mrs. Gamelra, whose body was found 2 weeks after her death. Despite the eerie story, Antboy enters the house and goes down to the basement. Inside, he discovers a hidden laboratory filled with scientific equipment. As he explores further, he finds Amanda trapped inside a glass box. When Antboy tries to rescue her, the Flea suddenly appears and traps Antboy in another glass container. Antboy begs him to release Amanda, but the Flea reveals that he wants revenge on Amanda's father, whom he blames for destroying his life. The movie then cuts to a flashback. The Flea was once a biochemist at EXO Farms, researching a rare ant species called Formica aquilonia. These ants contained a chemical capable of curing serious diseases. After years of research, he successfully created a powerful serum and tested it on his sick mother, Mrs. Gamelra. Her tumor shrank, and her health began to improve. However, Amanda's father shut down the project due to budget issues and fired the Flea, accusing him of trying to take control of the company. Shortly after, Mrs. Gamelra died, leaving him devastated. Filled with rage, he planned his revenge. He secretly created a new blood-sucking insect and extracted a serum that gave him super strength and the power of flight. While Antboy gains strength from sweets, the Flea gains power by drinking blood. Back in the present, Antboy learns that the ant which bit him was genetically modified by the Flea during his research. The villain then starts playing mind games with Pell, telling him that Amanda likes Antboy, not Pell, and that Wilhelm is only his friend because of his powers. These words deeply affect Pell. He realizes that people only care about Antboy, not him. Meanwhile, Wilhelm secretly overhears the conversation and calls the police. However, the Flea escapes by flying away, leaving Pell and Amanda trapped. Feeling like a failure, Pell decides to quit being Antboy. Wilhelm tries to convince him not to give up, but Pell refuses and hands over the mask, challenging Wilhelm to be the hero instead. The next day, the Flea attacks the school. Pell ignores the danger and leaves it to the police. With no other option, Wilhelm bravely wears the Antboy mask and confronts the villain using bug spray. Since he has no powers, the Flea easily captures him. Realizing his best friend is in danger, Pell puts on a backup Antboy costume and races on his bicycle to save Wilhelm. Antboy tracks the Flea to a forest and finds Wilhelm tied to a tree. He frees him, but the Flea returns. The two boys run and quickly form a plan. Pell throws his Antboy costume to distract the villain, and while the Flea is distracted, Wilhelm opens the blood container, which is the source of his power. With renewed confidence and his friend by his side, Pell fights bravely and defeats the Flea. The police arrive and arrest him, revealing his real identity as Dr. Gamelra. Later, Pell visits Amanda's room as Antboy. She thanks him and tries to kiss him, but Pell steps back and asks for Ida instead. Amanda is shocked, but she leaves. Ida then reveals that she knows Antboy is Pell and promises to keep his secret. The movie ends with Pell and Wilhelm discussing a new costume and wondering if there might be other superheroes out there. And that's a wrap on today's recap. If you enjoyed the ride, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you never miss a plot twist. Got a movie you want recapped? Drop it in the comments below. This is DX Recaps. See you in the next one.